with Vahen. Each month I get an opportunity to interview some amazing people with incredible stories of courage. And today I'm going to introduce you to Mary-Noah. She is a bilingual teacher for French and English. Well, she has a passion for children and youth mental health. Being that November is Mental Health Week, I thought it would be great to highlight Mary-Noah because of what she has to offer as resources, but also her own story.
My name is Mary-Noah. I am a single mom of two, and my son Adonai is turning 4. My daughter Adassa is 10 years old. November 1st, 2017 is a date I will never forget because that date changed my life forever.
Adassa and her mom, Mary-Noah Ndateramye, were on their way to school when their vehicle spun out on the ice and snow.
I look on my right and I just saw Adassa not responding. I remember the neurosurgeon nurse came into the room I was having my x-ray done to tell me that Adassa won't make it.
This is my sister's too. Look.
And I told her, you go back there, and because it's not today that my daughter is gonna die.
That was one of the hardest days of my life, and what they told me, she won't make it. And I remember at that time, I packed all the little faith I have inside of me.
Yes.
And I screamed to God. I told him, it's not today my dad is going to live. You're the God of miracle. I need a miracle right now. When the nurse came for the third time, she told me, well, you better pray. Because the first 2 times she came, I said, no, you go back. And you tell those neurosurgeons to do everything they can because my daughter is alive and she will fight to live. And the third time she came and told me, you better just call everyone, to pray if you really believe in that miracle. So that's when I called my family and then all my friends, and I called people from church, and I asked them to pray because we needed a miracle on that day. And thankfully, God wasn't deaf to our prayer. He listened, and she made it through the operation.
Yes.
Still in a coma, but she made it through. So.
We are, five months?
Yes.
What was that journey like for you?
In my case, it was interesting because, sometimes when those kind of things happen in your life, you basically turn out to God. I'm like, why? Like, seriously, why? Especially with everything I was doing. I was doing really good on a spiritual side. And I was like, is it your way to say thank you to me? But that's not how I felt on that day.
Yes.
When I say I serve a God who's faithful, and that event really bring me closer to God.
Wow.
And I can literally say that inside of me, I felt like God was crying with me. God was going through this hard situation with me and telling me, this is not my plan for you. This is not what I planned. I am here with you.
Yes.
And that verse in the Bible, I think it's in Isaiah, that says, be still and know I am God. During that time, those 5 months, I tried to be still because I needed to know God.
Yes.
I needed to know my God better than I used to. And because by knowing who He is, I was able to receive a little bit more of what He had to offer.
And so now, going back to the day that I saw you in the hospital, it was December of 2017. I was actually just ordained, and it was my first visit to the hospital since I had my I was a full pastor now, and I was like, God, do you have an assignment for me today? And then I have this lady come and tap me on the shoulder.
Yeah, and I recognize you from the back. So, oh my gosh, that's Miss Wheelchair Canada. And I remember you came to give a talk at our church. Yeah, and then I told you the story of what happened and why she's there, that we've been in a car accident.
And I remember going into the room, and I think I had such anticipation of just wanting to pray with your little girl. And I remember going and putting my hands on her and talking with her. And then I'm asking you, oh, do you know this scripture? And it's the scripture in Ezekiel 37 of this valley of dry bones. If you don't know the story, it's about a valley of literally dead, dry bones coming to life. And so that's what I was feeling to pray, and ask Mary-Noah if she would mind me praying that.
The prayer that I was doing for the end of the year, the valley of the dry bones, and everywhere I was going, they were talking about that valley of the dry bone. And I remember that day, the day before, I kind of felt that, okay, when I'm going to go to church tomorrow, I'm going to receive a message from God, and I knew that it will come from the pastor. Okay, but that day I couldn't go to church, so I was a little bit mad. And when you started to pray with that prayer, that's when I'm like, oh, there you go, I received my message from God, because after everything you share, and then finding out that you just been ordained,
just as a pastor,
ordained pastor, and I was like, there you go, I received my message from the pastor.
Oh, that blessed my heart so much. I love the faithfulness of God. You know, like in the midst of our pain, he comes and he reaches us, and it's awful. Like my heart broke for you, and there's so many praying with Adassa. You telling us about getting a keyboard. What prompted you to do that, and what actually happened that day?
What happened is, like, at the Stuttery, they have what they do, they call the music therapy. And I remember asking her, oh, do you have a keyboard? Because Adassa used to love music, and just to see if she could move any of her body, what would happen if with a keyboard in front of her, because she loves piano. So she went and get a keyboard, and we put the keyboard in front of her, and we put her hands, and I told her, at that time I didn't know if she could hear what I was saying. Yes. But I just told her, Adassa, you have a keyboard in front of you. Would you mind playing something? Can you move your thumb too?
Good.
Oh, good job.
You got this.
As she played, Adassa said the fingers start to move. Oh my God. Like, just crying.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Suddenly she started to move something. Nothing was moving.
Yes. And that was the beginning of her coming out of a coma.
Yeah.
I want to talk about something that you had developed because you are a certified mindfulness coach. Mm-hmm. You help children and youth with mindfulness, and that is about relaxation and meditation. And you talk about some simple ways to bounce back from adversity. And I'm reading this and I'm thinking, how often did you go back to these steps of, staying still and breathing, move your body, gratitude, right? In the midst of adversity, gratitude, and be positive, laugh out loud. I was thinking, how did your training help you in your situation?
Well, I go with that philosophy that you can get from an empty jar. If I needed to take care of my daughter, I needed to take care of me first.
Yes.
And I had my son too. And I had to still be a mom for my son. So coming to that verse, when God said, be still and know that I am God, that's when I started to be really more mindful about waiting on hearing his word, waiting on his healing, waiting on his comfort, and then to breathe, just relaxing, and the breathing, it's throughout, because I had some anxiety when I was going through that.
Absolutely.
I mean, I was the one driving. So the guilt, the shame, everything, I needed God compassion. Yes. And the gratitude, because by recognizing all the good that God was doing in my life, even though I was going through hell, helped me to get out of it. Like how all the brothers and sisters from church helped me. They were there praying for me, bringing me food. This is something I needed to say, thank you, God. Like just the way we met.
Yes, I love that.
I mean,
Divine
who will know that I will meet Miss Wheelchair Canada, the first Miss Wheelchair Canada? Like, I had a lot to be grateful for, to be aware that there's so many people here that care. And even though I was going through that tough time, I saw the hand of God moving things around.
That is so beautiful.
Yeah. And for the laughing, like everyone knows me as, I can be serious. Not because I'm not serious, but I have a hard time too. I'm always smiling and I'm always laughing.
Very joyful.
Yeah, and for some reason, since I was a little girl, I'm always thinking there's always something positive out of anything.
Wow.
And people thought how can you find anything positive out of this? I'm like, if I don't, I'm gonna die. So those are the things that I had been doing and moving my body, even though my body didn't want to move at all.
Yeah.
So it's an accumulation of a lot of things, and I think all that helped me to build resilience. My Christian faith combined with mindfulness really helped me to build the resilience I needed at that moment. What this experience changed is, before, I really wanted to learn more about mental health, about mindfulness, to help my students. Because I am a teacher, so I was mostly using it in my classroom as a way of positive classroom management. But when they told me that my daughter's condition will make her prone to mental health issue, depression, anxiety, and all that, that's when I started to think, what can I do to help her? So, using what I know, I created a program, like a body, mind, and spirit program of mindfulness to help her do that. I do a lot of the I am affirmation with her. She was like, no, I'm not, no, I'm not, no, I'm not. But now she's like, Adassa, who are you? I am strong. I am child of God. I can do this.
That's beautiful.
So it's really nice. So I was thinking, there's so many other kids out there that they don't have brain injury. They don't, and I know as a teacher, knowing how high the stress level and the anxiety. My goal would be really to empower the children and the youth, either if they're on medication or not medication, but something that when an anxious event happens, they know what to do.
Wow. Mary-Noah, it has been such a pleasure to have you come and share your story. It was a tragic, tragic situation, and there are a lot of people out there that have been and are going through tragic situations. Your story is still being written, but you have harnessed your pain. And I interviewed another lady, and she said God recycles our pain. And I believe that that is very evident in your life, that you are recycling your pain journey to help other people. And if you want to reach out to Mary-Noah, I will be putting contact information in the description of the video, and you can have access to all of her resources if you want her to come to an event where you would want her to speak about this, or your school. I'll have that information there. So Mary-Noah, thank you so much for being here today.
It's my pleasure.
I am so glad that I got to meet you too. You are such a blessing. Well, thank you again for tuning into another segment of Contagious Courage with Vahen King. And all that's left to say is, not to us, O Lord, not to us, but to you and your name goes all the honor and glory for your unfailing love and faithfulness. Thank you. Until next time. You know, when you have been through such an Hey! Yeah, well then, I guess we have another guest on set today in Contagious Courage. It's Effie.
Hi, Effie.
Hi. Endured some pause.